it's Ravina. I hope you're all doing extremely well. Today I'm back again with another video, and today's video is going to be astrology related. So I'm going to be making a video about all the signs' career possibilities. And there are two things that I'm looking at. So I can be talking about your guys' sun sign, which I think holds a lot of placement about everyone's goals. But I'm also talking about the midheaven, which rules careers. And you can find this on your birth chart. It's the 10th house. And yeah, I'll put a link down below for you guys to find your midheaven and all the other aspects of your chart. But yeah, for this video, personally, I'm going to be talking about your guys' sun sign and your midheaven sign. And so whichever one you think suits you best, that's the one you can pick and relate to. And so yeah, with that being said, let's just get on with this video. So starting with Aries. So when I think of Aries, immediately I think of leader. There are 3 signs, or I guess I would say 4 signs in the Zodiac that I would consider to be the leader archetypes. And Aries people definitely. And these are the leaders that are really meant to be in the force. They know how to do things, they know how to create, they know how to delegate. And so the number one job I would say for Aries people is to be a leader, be a CEO of a company, be in charge of a group, any sort of group. I think that's definitely something that Aries people are very capable of. I also could see Aries people going into the medical field and going into things like surgery. I feel that's something that a lot of Aries people and Aries midheaven would definitely dominate, because Aries people are very competitive, and something like surgery is definitely a very competitive field. Just fields that are very competitive that can make Aries people feel like every day they have to wake up to do something is definitely something in their life that I think is something that they're meant to do. They can't have something really boring, they just have to feel like every day they're chasing after something. With this competitiveness, I also think Aries people would be great athletes. I think in general, if you want to go all the way to the Olympics, they could be training for something like that, or even just in general, maybe a football player, stuff of that sort. I feel like a lot of Aries people have that natural thing. I know a lot of Aries people that are really into like gymnastics. Aries people in Aries midheaven, I think an athlete would be a really great career option. So moving on to Tauruses. So I personally think Tauruses are very dependable and loyal. If I want to work with somebody on a project, I would definitely want a Taurus person or a Taurus midheaven. And so in general, I think Taurus people would work really well as an employee or as part of a team. Taurus people are really surrounded by beauty. That's something that they really love in their life. So I could see them working in some sort of business to do with beauty products, maybe something to do with floral, flowers, all that kind of aspects, kind of a cliche, but I could see a Taurus person owning like a flower shop. Something really pretty. I could see them being like an architect, something to do with interior design. I definitely could see a Taurus person. I personally do think that Tauruses could really be great managers, especially for like a smaller business. Not that they couldn't do a bigger business, but I think they would enjoy smaller businesses more. I could see a Taurus or a Taurus midheaven working in sales, marketing. I think that they have a really good eye for what's new, how to sell things, what would make something look more beautiful, more alluring. That's definitely something a Taurus person would be really good at. I also see Taurus people as being very artistic, so something in the arts field for a Taurus or a Taurus midheaven would be really great. And then lastly, I feel like they would be really good nurturers. I think a lot of earth signs and water signs are really good at nurturing, so I could see them going into the healthcare field, being a nurse, doing something with wellness. I think would be something really great for Tauruses. So moving on to Geminis. So Geminis are known as the communicators, and so immediately I think of politicians. There are a lot of Gemini politicians, and they just speak what's on their mind. They know how to get audiences, even if you don't like them, because I know Geminis are very polarizing. For example, our president right now, Donald Trump, is a Gemini, and a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people did like him, though, and that's kind of a Gemini thing. I think Geminis could be really good diplomats. They could study international relations in college and work with something of that sort. And since they love communicating, since they love learning, I could see them being a teacher, a professor. And they're really eccentric. They just love what they do, so I think that they would really be able to engage their students. With politics, I also can see a Gemini or a Gemini midheaven going into something with law. I think that's something that they would be really good at. They have a good eye for that and a good mind for that. And I could also see Geminis going into something artistic, but for me, what I see them mostly going as is actors. I think a lot of Geminis and Gemini midheavens love playing those type of roles and being different people, as they are known for that. So I think being an actor would be a really great career for a Gemini or a Gemini midheaven. I would also say, since they know how to tell people what to do, since they know how to communicate, they would also be really good managers in charge of businesses. I think something a Gemini or a Gemini midheaven would be really great at. Alright, so moving on to Leos. So this is a sign that I always think about leaders as well, just like with Aries. They really attract attention, and I think that they would be so great in business. I think they could really own their own type of company, like Kylie Jenner as a Leo, something of that sort. I think they just really attract a lot of attention. A lot of Leos and Leo midheavens really crave attention. So going into the arts field, becoming an actor, a director, a writer, stuff of that sort, just really putting yourself out there. I think Leos would be great politicians. They can really engage. They just know how to express their ideas, and they're not afraid of expressing their ideas, Leos or Leo midheavens. So I think that's something they should go for. I think that becoming a politician, a lawyer, being able to fight for ideas and argue. And I definitely think Leos want to win arguments, so law is a great, great place. But I also feel like Leos love to do multitude of things. So if they want to do business, they can do business, and they can also do writing, and they can also do investing, and do all of the things that they want to do. So they normally like to pick careers where there's a lot of leeway to do many things. And so I would say that that's something that they should definitely consider when they're studying, picking something where they can really shift into anything they want to shift into. Alright, so moving on to Virgos. Virgo suns or Virgo midheavens are very interesting and very kind people. I think they could do a lot of things with their lives. I always kind of envision them going into something therapeutic, really helping other people. I feel like they have a very good nature for that, and they really do want to help people. I think that they are very detail-oriented, so they can go into jobs that are detail-oriented. They could go into things with numbers too, like accounting. I feel like something that Virgos would be really good at. But Virgos also really like nature, so if they want to do something more outside, outdoorsy, that's something that Virgos and Virgo midheavens would most likely gravitate towards. They could study environmental science and really like that, I would say. Doing something for the environment since they care so much about it, working on environmental policy, I think would be really great for Virgos. I think a non-profit director, being in charge of that, since they are very detail-oriented, I think that they would be great managers. But I would say something with a lot of purpose is something that Virgos really gravitate towards. So like running a nonprofit, you're really trying to help people, and you're being in charge of something that has meaning. And I think that's very important for Virgos, Virgo suns, or Virgo midheavens. Another thing with Virgos' good eye, I think they would be really good for being a detective. I feel like something they would be really like, and they would be able to spot things and have new ideas, which is definitely really important in the field of true crime, especially since there's so many unsolved cases. And I can see Virgos as researchers 100% going into fields of psychology. I think it's something Virgos would really like. So yeah, these are the careers for Virgo and Virgo midheaven. Alright, so moving on to Cancer, another very nurturing sign. Immediately I think of children, so I think Cancers would be really great taking care of children, maybe working as a child psychologist would be really interesting. I think that there needs to be a lot of work for children and mental health, so if you're a Cancer or Cancer midheaven, possibly think about that. If you want to be a nanny, a babysitter, those kind of jobs, I think would be really great for Cancers. I think being a teacher would be really great since they really care about people and they really want to care about their students. I feel like they could really help encourage their students to talk more and to really be involved. And I know that a lot of people with Cancer midheavens would probably want their students, if they're children, to really express themselves and to be confident. Again, with nurturing, they could definitely go into the healthcare field, being a nurse, being a therapist, something of that sort, going all the way to the medical field to becoming a doctor. I think something that they would like. For me personally, I think water signs in general and water sign midheavens are really artistic, so I really could see Cancers going into artistic fields. I could see them doing something with actual art, something of that aspect, fashion I could see, or writing. I think they can really express their emotions, music, a lot of things I could see Cancer midheavens doing. But I think it's also important that most Cancers or Cancer midheavens definitely value their family. So I think for that it would be really important to try to find a job where they really enjoy, but they can also take care of their own family if that's something that they want, which most Cancer midheavens do. I could see Cancers also going into a field that's really different, maybe something like geology or archaeology, just something really different, something that allows them to do something they really enjoy, their passion, and also be able to take care of their kids or something of that sort. And also nutrition, maybe they could be something like a nutritionist or cook. I definitely could see a Cancer or a Cancer midheaven doing. Alright, so moving on to Scorpio. Scorpios and Scorpio midheavens I definitely think could have some very interesting careers. Scorpios are really known to have a lot of depth, and they really care about transformation. And so I definitely think that they could go into something really meaningful, like becoming a writer, a poet, something of that sort. And I think that their music, if they do go into artistic fields, could be really, really interesting and different, and just something that people haven't seen before, and their lyrics can be really meaningful. I would probably presume a Scorpio, Midheaven would have. I also think Scorpios, again, they have a really good eye for things, so I think they could be a good detective. And there's kind of a cliche that Scorpios are really into death. I just think that they kind of gravitate towards aspects of that. They're less scared of it, and they find it more fascinating and more of just a part of life. So I could definitely see Scorpios becoming detectives and investigators because they'll be less afraid of that, or law enforcement. I could see them going into possibly being a mortician, which definitely to a lot of people may be really creepy, but I can definitely see Scorpios doing that. For Scorpios, I've always felt like they would be really good managers and doing something with finance. I think that since they can transform to many things, they can just do a lot of things, and maybe that's what they gravitate towards, wanting to do a lot of things in their life. I also feel like Scorpios would be really good for the medical field because, again, they're less afraid of that kind of aspects, and they could be something that they would be really destigmatized really early on. So I feel like a surgeon would be great, especially since they are detail-oriented. Surgeons have to be very detail-oriented, or other like medical professions that aren't necessarily surgeons. I think Scorpios would be really good for. So moving on to Libras. So Libras are known as very diplomatic people, and they really care about balance and peace. So off the bat, I think of being a diplomat, studying international studies, studying issues around the world globally. I think that's something that they would really like to care for because they are about that balance. Maybe working for the UN, which is a big goal, but I definitely think that Libras can do it, and anyone really can do it if they put their mind to it. I could see Libras wanting to study environmental policy, since that's all about nature, and the environment needs to be balanced for everything else to be balanced. I can also see Libras going into caring for animals, being a vet, Libra midheavens. Again, Libras are also really attracted to things that are really beautiful and beauty, so I can see them going into the beauty industry, maybe owning their own products, selling their own products, maybe selling other people's products, or maybe working in marketing. I think it's something that they would have a really good eye for. Like I said, like with Tauruses, they just really know how to show something and show something in a way that can be very alluring. I think Libras can also be really good lawyers, just like diplomats, and they just know how to argue and see both sides of the situation. So I think that would be definitely really good. And I also see Libras and Libra midheavens as really good writers. I feel like a lot of these signs could definitely be really good writers for different reasons. I feel like Libras could really write something very beautiful, something very poetic. Even if they write fiction, it could be kind of like Call Me By Your Name, how that novel is very beautiful, how it's written. I could definitely see Libras writing something of that sort. And again, since Libras are all about wanting to create balance and harmony, I think medicine would be a really good spot for Libras. I also think they could go into like holistic medicine or becoming some sort of therapist, again, about balance, emotional balance. And they can do something really obscure, something very different with that, and try to find new ways to help people and heal people. So moving on to Sagittarians. When I think of Sagittarius suns and Sagittarian midheavens, I think about knowledge. And with Sagittarians, they always want to be growing, becoming a different person. And the best way to become a different person is to grow your knowledge and expand who you are and your ideas. So I think for Sagittarians, definitely going into fields where they can learn, like STEM fields. STEM fields are always growing and they're always changing. So there's so much STEM to learn, science, technology, but there's so much to also grow and to change and to create. So that's definitely a great field, becoming a scientist, inventor, going into medicine and maybe also doing medicine and research, something of that sort. I also think Sagittarians would be really great for history, becoming a historian, librarian, really like reading and learning, and there's so much history to learn in the past that can really change you. And so I think becoming a historian, a professor would be great, like showing knowledge and creating that growth and enjoyment of knowledge for their students would be something Sagittarians would love to do and be great at. And I think even going into like anthropology, geography, Sagittarians love traveling. So if they can pick a field where they can go travel and eat food around the world, being a tour guide, stuff of that sort, I think Sagittarians would love. Becoming an anthropologist and studying other cultures, I think Sagittarian midheavens would absolutely love that, and it'd be a great job. I also think the artistic fields would be great for Sagittarians because they can travel the world playing their music or writing about other cultures. So there's just so much to explore for Sagittarians, and they just really have to find something where they can wake up every day and feel like they can grow and learn. So moving on to Capricorns. Capricorns are known to be very dependable, very hardworking, very ambitious. not all Capricorns necessarily are super hardworking. I know that's kind of a cliche thing, but I still think pretty much every Capricorn has ambition, has these goals, and that's very important. You want that ambition to be able to sustain and develop things and goals and go for things you want in life. Capricorns are very realistic though. They're very grounded. They're an earth sign. So I could see them being a manager, doing some sort of administrative work. I could definitely see them working in a typical job and actually really thriving in it. I could see Capricorns working for international relations, doing something of that sort. I could see them running their own business. It could be a smaller business, but I could also see them running a bigger business too. And I just feel like they are really dependable, so they would be a great employee in general. I think Capricorns, since they have a lot of ambition, they can really go for things that take a lot of time, like becoming a researcher. I think it's something they could really set their mind to do, many years of schooling. I think that if they get a lot of setbacks in life, they can still persevere. That's a very Capricorn thing, as they already had a lot of setbacks very early on in their life. And so if you're a Capricorn midheaven, I think a big reason why you guys are going to be successful is because you're very resilient. So if there's something you want to go for, even through failures, I know you guys can persevere through it. So research, going all the way into medical field, and again, I think becoming like a business owner is something that's really Capricorn-esque. Working as a team is something that Capricorns really thrive in. So yeah, I think that those are careers that they could really thrive in, and if they push themselves, they can really do really well in it. So moving on to Aquarius Sun and Aquarius midheaven. Aquarius people are known to be very innovative. They like to do different things and come up with different things. So right off the bat, I think of scientists. I think Aquarius people will be really great as scientists, inventing new things. I think Aquarius people will be really good at psychology. They could become a psychologist, a therapist. I think that's something that they would be really good for. But Aquarius people and Aquarius midheavens tend to like to gravitate towards making huge global change. So working as a nonprofit owner, just working for the UN, again, would be a great spot for Aquarius people. Doing a lot of humanitarian work and trying to make a difference, working in public health. So if they want to go into medicine, maybe they can also do something with that, with public health, and trying to make a big difference, maybe running a business, because you can do a lot with that. I also think Aquarius people like to gravitate towards the arts because they can see if they become successful, really successful, then a lot of people can see their work and a lot of people can be touched by it, and a lot of their messages in their writing has a cause, it has a message to it. They don't want to just do things just to do them. In general, I see Aquarius people going into things like science and tech, computer science, other science fields too. They tend to go towards things like psychology and biology and stuff of that sort. I also feel like they would be really good writers. Again, a lot of these signs have a lot of good writing potential, but I think Aquarius's writing potential stems from the fact that their work has a cause and they have a message they want to give to people, and that can definitely be something that helps a lot of people and that can make Aquarius people feel very fulfilled. So in general, Aquarius people just need to find a job that they feel very fulfilled in, they feel they can make a big difference, even in their community, a big difference. It's very subjective what a big difference is, but that's very important for Aquarius people, so they should definitely try to gravitate towards jobs of that sort. Another way for Aquarius people to make a big difference, if they want to go into politics, again, it's a big platform, and that's a way that you can really get your message across to many people. So lastly, we're moving on to Pisces Sun and Pisces midheaven people. So Pisces people can really transform into whatever they want to transform into. For example, Lady Gaga, she's a Pisces midheaven, and she is really artistic. She can become an amazing actress, and she's also a really talented singer, a really talented performer. So the arts field definitely is something Pisces people, Pisces midheaven tend to gravitate towards. Writing, music, acting, all of that stuff is really something that a lot of Pisces and Pisces midheavens feels like is their purpose. I think Pisces people also really like to help people. They're very nurturing, and Pisces midheaven people. So I think that they would be really great psychologists, counselors, therapists, doctors, nurses, stuff of that field. I think they could do a lot of strides for wellness because a lot of Pisces people really care about enlightenment and spirituality, Pisces midheaven people as well. And so they really have to find a lot of the stuff inside of them and really deal with a lot of their own spiritual work. So I can see them being spiritual workers and helping other people. I can see them even doing like tarot card readings and doing a lot of different ways of helping people, healing people. That is definitely something that Pisces people, especially Pisces midheaven, because that's something that they really gravitate towards as a career. They want to do something that helps people and really makes a difference and helps people in a deeper sense than a lot of other aspects can help people. So that's why I think a lot of them go into spirituality, go into healing arts and healing fields, or go into artistic fields that can really meet a lot of people and make a big difference. And so yeah, that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope some of this stuff helped you guys find out what you may want to do. But obviously, if what you want to do isn't on the list, you can still go for it. I just wanted to make this video to maybe help you guys see what you could possibly do, what you would be pretty good at. But there's so many fields, so many different industries. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be uploading new videos very soon.